So it's the morning after the night before, and yes, it really did happen. Forest smashed West Ham by 3-0 at the world famous City ground. And yes, Forest did win 3 games in a row for the first time since 1999 in the Premier League. And yes, Forest, as things stand right now, are third. Welcome to my match thoughts. Good morning, good evening, or good night. How are you Reds doing? I'm sure you are all well, and welcome to my post-match thoughts the day after the night before. And Forest is still third. If you are happy about everything with Forest right now, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And don't forget to check out today's video sponsor, Carrera, where you can sell and buy into players like they are stock on the stock market. You can make real money depending on your football knowledge. And if, like me, you were smart enough to invest in Saka, he's up 7% in the last 24 hours. Count the money. I mean, could this weekend get any better? So make sure you go check out Carrera. You can scan the QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. It's completely free to sign up. Let's get into this video because I can't get this smile off my face. There's so much I want to talk to you guys about. And it's all positive. It really is. Like, even me, a person who tends to look at life as glass half empty, I'm really struggling to find anything I'm not happy about right now with Forest. But I think there are some questions that we need to ask, but they are good questions. Don't worry, we'll get into those as well. But let's start it off by talking about Nuno. I just think he needs way more credit than certain elements of the mainstream media are giving him. They're almost all shocked yesterday. They looked at the table. Is this right? Have we got it upside down? Forest third from bottom. No, it's third from top. And why? It's because of Nuno and what he's done at Forest. I saw a match of the day, which, by the way, we weren't even in the top 3 of. I wonder why that is, Gary Lineker. Is it anything to do with the team you support? But anyway, I saw his interview and I feel like I'm on that level with Nuno, understanding his philosophy, understanding his game plans. I talked to you guys before the watch along and I said, okay, he's playing Morgan Gibbs-White because Anderson had a knock and they're going to get 60 minutes, 30 minutes. It's all going to work out well. And Nuno's got everything down to a T, down to the nth degree, down to the most finest of details when it comes to his game plan. He almost has these 2-part philosophies in a match. He has his starting team, then he's got this set of players, Morato, Williams, Sosa, Jota, who he must see as finishers or closers. We've talked about this before a couple of weeks ago. And everything is going to plan because Forest have only been behind once this whole season, and that was obviously the one blemish on our record against Fulham. The rest of the time, we've taken the lead in every game. And that allows Nuno to play out his plan, which is, okay, we'll get into the lead. Let's see where we are, 75th minute. Right, let's lock it down, secure the 3 points, get the dub in the bag. And it sounds simple, and that's because it is in certain aspects. Because football is a game that's extremely simple and then overcomplicated by idiots. And what Nuno is smart. What did he say? What has he done? Start at the back. He said our first objective is to get a clean sheet. That's what the foundation is built on. And then we release our attacking players to do what they do best. And if you have that core of a defense that is just like a brick wall, like we have with M&M, and let's not forget Moreno and Einar as well, and Sells, it just breeds confidence in the players in front of them, thinking, okay, as long as we do our job and can squeeze a goal, maybe 2 out of this game, the boys at the back, ain't no one getting through them. And what this means for Nuno is that now when he talks, now we've always told you what we get told about Nuno and the respect he has in the club from day one. When he talked, everyone shut up and everyone listened to what he had to say. But what he's got now isn't just that respect, but it's also the belief in what he's doing. So when he says this is our plan, this is how we're going to execute it, everyone from players to staff to fans to anyone anyone watching is bought into it. And the trust there is total and complete right now. And that's what he's brought to us. And what he's done as well, he's just taken us to that next level. Look, we can all remember how excited we got when Forest survived against Arsenal in the first season, how we beat PSR last year, stuck 2 fingers up to the corrupt Premier League, survived that. And now we're going to this next level where it almost feels like, what's the limit? And that's the bit that excites me. I don't know how high we can go. I do know at some point, it happens in every season, there will be little points and little, troughs in the whole peak and trough graph that you get in football. But honestly, I'm not scared of anyone. I really am not. I was doing some streams yesterday with the Never Foul boys, and they were talking about Man City's running. And when they came to Forest, they're like, "It's a tough one. That's a tough one." I was like, "Are we at home?" No, we're away. People are now starting to recognize what Forest are doing. And the other thing I want to talk about was something that I talked about pre-game, which is now when teams come to Forest, showing them the respect that we've earned. And they don't want to just attack Forest and think we must win this game. And I think we saw that yesterday against West Ham. West Ham were terrible, by the way. They were shocking. But Forest had to break them down. And this is what's excited me more than being third, more than 3 in a row, more than anything is I wanted to know if Forest could break down a team that was going to defend deeply and didn't really have an outlet in terms of their attack. And could Forest find a way without spacing behind that defense, without being able to unleash, our pace weapons on the wings and things? Could we find a way to break it down? And the answer was a categorical yes. But if we look ahead now, we got some big challenges. We got Newcastle coming up next week. They'll be buzzing over their win over Arsenal yesterday. We've got, after that, Arsenal away themselves, who actually don't look in great form. And if they carry on, I think they got Chelsea coming up next week for them. We could catch them at a very good time. And I just want the next match to come tomorrow. I'm just ready for it. I really am. And the final thing I want to talk about is team selection, because this is the stage I wanted to get to, where for 2 years or so, I've been talking about players like, I'm only naming them because we've discussed them, like Worrell, like McKenna, like Cook, players like that who you looked at who had done a great job for Forest, but you could see they were not Premier League quality. We had to upgrade past them to the likes of Murillo and to the likes of Milenkovic. Yes, there'll always be that sentimental attachment to them, but the way Nuno's just come in and said, right, I don't think you're good enough, in a nice way. You need to move on to better your career. We need to move in this direction. So that bit's been done. The players that aren't good enough are no longer here. The players that are good enough are here. But this creates its own headache. And it's a fun headache, even for us as fans. Because now we can start having discussions. For example, who's the better number 10? Is it Morgan Gibbs-White or is it Elliot Anderson? Both players, if I was to set up a debate right now with person A and person B, having this Anderson versus Morgan Gibbs-White debate, I could see both of them having enough valid points to put a good enough case together to show that their man should be the starter at the number 10. Whereas in yesteryear, we'd be saying that this guy is not good enough, but this guy is not good enough either, but slightly less not good enough than this one to play there. And this is where the fun starts. This is where proper football teams start to develop, where we see each player pushing each other. Morgan Gibbs-White yesterday was fantastic, came on, had to put a performance in. Why? Because he knows Elliot Anderson is right there ready to pounce on that number 10 shirt. And then Anderson comes on and had just as good a performance. In the first half, I was like, this is why Morgan Gibbs-White is our number 10. In the second half, I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe it is up for a debate. We'll have that debate tonight on Grumpy Old Reds, and I think both sides will win. I really do. So these are all good signs for Forest. And the final question is, how high can Forest finish? Right now, as far as I'm concerned, we're in a title race. You can laugh, you can mock, you can say what you want, but factually speaking, we are, at time of recording this video, third in the league. We're a couple of points behind Liverpool. We're ahead of Arsenal with the same games played with a point more and a better goal difference. And just let me remind you that people laughed at me when I said Forest would finish 8th this season, that Forest have the best centre-back pairing in the Premier League. People said to me, what about Saliba and Gabriel? I say to them now, go look at their defensive record versus ours. Yes, the season is only a quarter of the way through, but as things stand right now, technically speaking, Forest are in a title race. Long may that continue. Let me know down below. We've seen a quarter of the season. Where do Forest finish now? We've seen a very good sample size. We've played a couple of the big boy teams. We got a few of the Cartel 6 coming up. But do you think we're in a title race? Or are some of you still happy just to finish 17th? We'll be back for Grumpy Old Reds tonight. I think we're kicking off at about 8 o'clock. There's a lot to discuss. If you've enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to Forest Fan TV. If you are new here, check out the sponsors and I'll leave you the player ratings on the end screen because live chat yesterday. Did we fall out on a few of them? We'll see you tonight. Come on, you Reds.